The lynching of Michael Donald. Michael Donald was born in Mobile, Alabama on July 24, 1961, and was the youngest of 6 children. In 1981, Josephus Anderson, an African American charged with the murder of a white policeman in Birmingham, Alabama, during an armed robbery, was tried in Mobile, where the case had been moved in a change of venue. The trial ended with a deadlock of a mixed white-black jury. At a meeting held in Mobile while the jury was still debating, members of the Unit 900 of the United Klans of America complained that Anderson was not still convicted because the jury had African American members. Benny Jack Hayes, the second highest ranking official in the UKA, reportedly said, "If a black man can get away with killing a white man, we ought to be able to get away with killing a black man." On Friday 20th, 1981, a mistrial was declared on all 4 counts, and the prosecutor announced his intention to retry Anderson's case. Following a meeting held together the same day, Henry Hayes, Benny Hayes, his son, and James Knowles drove around Mobile looking for a black person to attack, armed with a gun and equipped with a rope borrowed from Frank Cox, Hayes' brother-in-law. As Hayes and Knowles were cruising through one of Mobile's mostly black neighborhoods, they spotted Michael Donald walking home after he bought a pack of cigarettes at the nearby gas station for his sister. Without any link to Anderson's case or even a past criminal record, Donald was chosen at random for being black. The 2 UKA members lured him over to their car by asking him for directions to a local club and forced Donald into the car at gunpoint. The men then drove out to another county and took him to a secluded area in the woods near Mobile Bay. Donald attempted to escape, knocking away Hayes' gun and trying to run into the woods. The men pursued Donald and attacked him and beat him with a tree limb. Hayes wrapped a rope around Donald's neck and pulled on it to strangle him, while Knowles continued to beat Donald with a tree branch. Once Donald had stopped moving, Hayes slit his throat 3 times to make sure he was dead. The men left Donald's lifeless body hanging from a tree on Herndon Avenue across the street from Hayes' house in Mobile, where it remained until the next morning. The same night, 2 other UKA members burned a cross on Mobile County Courthouse lawn to celebrate the murder. Beulah May Donald contacted national civil rights activist Jesse Jackson, who organized a protest march in the city and demanded answers from the police. The FBI investigated the case, and it was ready to close its investigation, but Thomas Figures, the assistant U.S. attorney in Mobile, asked the Department of Justice to authorize a second investigation. 2.5 years later, in 1983, Henry Hayes and James Knowles were arrested. Knowles confessed in 1983, and additional evidence was revealed during the civil trial initiated by Donald's mother, Beulah May Donald, in 1984, leading to the indictment of Benjamin Franklin Cox Jr., a truck driver, as an accomplice in the criminal case. Henry's father, Benny Hayes, was also indicted. Josephus Anderson, whose case was the background of Donald's killing, was eventually convicted of murder in 1985. Henry Hayes was convicted of capital murder. The jury voted in favor of life imprisonment, but the judge overruled the jury's verdict and sentenced Hayes to death. Hayes was executed on June 6, 1997. James Knowles was indicted by a federal grand jury in 1985 for violating the civil rights of Michael Donald and pleaded guilty to civil rights violations, and James Judge Hand sentenced him to life in prison. Knowles avoided the death penalty by testifying against Hayes, Cox, and other Klansmen at the trial. He had earlier testified that the slaying was done to show Klan strength in Alabama. Knowles was released on parole in 2010. Benjamin Cox Jr. a truck driver from Mobile who provided the rope, was sentenced to life in prison. The elder Hayes was indicted for inciting the murder, tried some years later. His case ended in a mistrial when he collapsed in court. The judge said that because of the illness of Hayes, he had no choice but to declare a mistrial. Hayes died of a heart attack before he could be retried. Acting at the request of Beulah May Donald, Morris Dees, founder of the Southern Poverty Law Center in Montgomery, brought a wrongful death suit in 1984 against the United Klans of America in federal court in the Southern District of Alabama. The civil trial brought out evidence that enabled the criminal indictment and conviction of Cox as an accomplice and Beanie Hayes for inciting the murder. In 1987, the Klan was found civilly liable by an all-white jury and sentenced to damages of $7 million in wrongful death verdict in the case. The suit became a precedent for civil legal action against other racist hate groups in the United States. Payment of the judgment bankrupted the United Klans of America and resulted in its national headquarters being sold for less than $60,000. The proceeds going to Donald's mother. She died the following year on September 17, 1988. In 2006, Mobile commemorated Michael Donald by renaming Herndon Avenue, where he was hung.